Hey everyone, it's me, Christopher. Excited about to do some of the Egyptian Beauty Return saga, but I need to get more story to go. So that's what we're gonna do with the book one, the Egyptian Beauty Return. So, and here we have this one, the A one. And here to the scary one. And also, it here to the back one. You see how adorable this is. Okay, let's get on to those shows, shall we? Egyptian Beauty Return. Alright. Egyptian Beauty Return. Here we go. Gotta scoot the chair up. In the year 2004, after Sanwa and Maria destroy Puppeteer, everybody in Multi City will celebrate Puppeteer is dead, and Wind Waker and Dr. Alexander are at London at night. Wind Waker said, "I'm sure he'll be here by now." Dr. Alexander said, "Yes, but he's just having a lot of time here." Wind Waker said, without sod, "We hope that there will be a new leader of the Universal Guardian." Dr. Alexander said, "Yes, but he'll bring someone to be a new powerful person in Egypt. Then just come out and at the portal and said, 'Sorry I'm late because I'm to pick up the baby boy from the dead parents.'" Dr. Alexander said, "Glad you're here just in time with the baby boy." Wind Waker said, "Now help us put the baby front on the door to the house." When Wind Waker, Dr. Alexander, and just put the baby boy front of the door to their house, Wind Waker said, "Good luck, James, and we'll see you in 19 years. In 2023, James woke up in his room downstairs and Mrs. Trinkleton knocking at his door to his room. Mrs. Trinkleton said, "Wake up, James. I made you and your brother at breakfast." Toby and Ted coming downstairs, and Toby shouted, "It's my birthday, Teddy! It's my birthday!" Toby brought banging on James' door and shouted, "Good news, Jamie! It's my birthday!" Ted would hope that Will having at his birthday. When James, Toby, and Ted walked into the kitchen, Mr. Trinkleton said, "Hey, hey there, my birthday boy! Ho, ho! We'd love to take you somewhere on your birthday. Have we, James?" James said, "Yes, and we'll have so much fun on your birthday trip." Mr. Trinkleton said, "Now, boys, we're going to take you on a cruise." Toby said, "Boy, I love zoos." Mrs. Trinkleton said, "I know you do. When they gonna get in the car?" Mr. Trinkleton told James and Ted that he wants James and Ted to put on the best behavior with Toby on his birthday. When they got to the zoo called Hammer Zoo, they could look around all the animals in here and go to the reptile room. When they looking at the snake, Toby asked, "Mom, what kind of snake is this?" James said, "It's a common European viper." Mrs. Trinkleton said, "That's right, James. It's a common European viper, the deadly snake." James said, "The common European viper is the most famous snake in the European, and it will bite you very painful, and you'll have redness, swelling, burning, bleeding, or blushing around the bite. Mr. Trickleton asked, "Where did you learn that?" James said, "I know all the different types of animals." Mrs. Trickleton said, "Well, let's look at the alligator." When Mr. and Mrs. Trickleton and Toby went to the alligator, James and Ted still looked at the common European viper. Ted said, "You know I was doing nothing with the snake here, so what do you think?" James said, "I think that I could talk to him." When James talked to the common European viper, James said, "Me and my brother are wondering that you are having a lot of time to rest, but I was only one to the right family, and you do lots of your family, like mine was." The common European viper understood James what he's saying, and Ted said, "James, I think his snake is understand you now." James said, "I'm glad that you understand me, but..." When Toby saw the common European viper moving, he pushed James and Ted out of the way and shouted, "Mom, Dad, look at the snake is moving and he's looking at me." And then the glass had vanished and Toby fell into it. The common European viper crawled out of his cage, and the common European viper thanks to James and Ted. When the common European viper slithered way out, people yelling and screaming at the common European viper, and they ran away. Toby knew that the glass had here, and he started to cry for help. When Mr. and Mrs. Trickleton saw Toby trapped in the glass cage, they were shocking, and Mr. Trickleton saw Ted what he did after they got home. Mr. Trickleton is angry at Ted and shouts, "I told you to put on your best behavior with him, but why did you do this?" James said, "He didn't do it because it's magic." Mr. Trickleton pushed James in his room and said, "You better stay out of it, and magic isn't real." On the next day, the dog holding a letter is heading to Mr. Trickleton's house. A dog scratching on the door, and James opened the door. James saw the dog and asked, Where did you come from, little guy?" James picked up the dog and closed the door. Then James saw the letter that the dog holding into the snout and take the letter from the dog. When James taking the dog to the living room, the family looked at him, and Mr. Trickleton asked, "Where did you find this dog?" James said, "I found him next to our door, and he holding a letter." Mr. Trickleton said, "Well, get it to me. I want to see it." James gave Mr. Trickleton a letter and said, "This letter had sent to me?" Mr. Trickleton started to laugh and asked, "Why did you say that?" When Mr. Trickleton looked at the letter, it said to James from the leader of the Hero of the Time. Mr. Trickleton walked outside, and there hundreds of dogs standing around the neighborhood. Mr. Trickleton yelled, "Get lost, all of you! Move! Shoot! What do you want from us?" Then they dropped some letter onto the ground. Mr. Trickleton tossed all the letter to the fireplace, and he also locked the front door and the back door. Later, Mr. Trickleton having a family meeting and said, "Well, since that we had a lot of dogs here in the neighborhood, I just locked up the front door and the back door, so James is keeping this puppy as a home, and we had to stay in our house every day without going outside." Then They heard the door scratching outside, and soon 8 million dogs break through the door from the front and the back. Mr. Trickleton, so there are too many of them. We've been dog scrapped. We've been dog sappy. Jame almost grabbed the letter from the other dog, but Mr. Trickleton got him. Mrs. Trickleton shouted, "Honey, what are we going to do?" Mr. Trickleton shouted, "We have to go somewhere that no dog can ever find us." Meanwhile, they had to remodel Sophie's court apartment, and at night, Jame and Ted are in the living room. Jame decided to give him a puppy a name and said, "I'll call you Leo from now on." Leo started to say, "Thank you. I love this name." Jame was full of surprise and asked, "Wait, did you just talk?" Then someone opened the door with a slam and woke up everybody. It was Wind Waker and David in the apartment. Mr. Trickleton holding the bat and shout, "Who are you guys? And where did you come from?" Where did you come? Wind Waker and David look at him, and David said, "We come from Egypt." Wind Waker looked at Jame and said, "Jame, it's good to see you in 19 years. Jame, confused, and asked, "Do I know you?" Wind Waker said, "Oh, where are my manners? I almost forgot to tell you my name, so please let me into my name. I'm Wind Waker, leader of the Hero of the Time." Jane surprised and said, "It's you! You're the guy who sent me the letter." Wind Waker said, "If you hadn't read it yet, read it while I'll give it to you." When Wind Waker gave Jane the letter and started to read, "Dear Jane, my name is Wind Waker, and I'm the leader of the Hero of the Time. We want you to know that we've been decided to let you come to Egypt, and we'll train you to be a true warrior. In 2004, we helped with our old friend named Just to take you a new home when you was a baby. When you get there, we'll give you the powerful key known as the sword key. We hope that you'll meet the Pharaoh and Queen of Egypt because we want you to be brave at Egypt. Sincerely, Wind Waker." James asked, "You want me to come with you?" David said, "Of course, because we'll give you this when you're not here. You're not here yet." David gave James a sword key, and Mr. Trickleton said, "We won't let him play with dangerous weapons because he could cut himself." Wind Waker said, "You know that he's old enough to handle this sword." "Oh, nothing, Dad. I'm just doing my video." Sorry about that. It's my dad here. I don't know why. Okay. Where were we? Okay, so Mr. Trickleton, so how dare you talk like that to me? Then David gave Mr. Trickleton a dog tail, and the Toby shouted, "Mom, Dad, I had a dog tail." Mr. Trickleton looked at it and started to scream. Toby and Mr. and Mrs. Trickleton are panicked, and Ted is laughing. James told Ted that he'll see him again, and James, Leo, Wind Waker, and David are going off to Egypt. When they at Egypt, Wind Waker said, "Don't worry, it's a magic dome. No people can see it." When they drew the tomb, James saw the kingdom. James asked, David, are those real life? Mummy, ghoul, and skeleton, my friend? David said. Wind Waker said, deep dead people are friendly, and we only people are alive in this kingdom. James said, they're dog too, but why they rap as mummy like those guys? Wind Waker said, you see, that old lost dog had visited the kingdom, and they wrapped up just like all of the mummies. James said, oh, I see a point now. James saw the statue of Emerald and Arthur and asked, who were those two mummy dogs? Wind Waker said, that is Emerald and Arthur, the first ruler of the Egypt. Leo said, yep, they're dead, but we had the second ruler of Egypt, Samuel and Maria. James asked, is they here? I want to meet him. Leo said, no, because they at the new home with us, but you're gonna meet the third ruler of Egypt, Queen Diamond, daughter of the Samuel and Maria, and Pharaoh Elf. James asked, wait, Samuel and Maria had the daughter who ruled Egypt? Windmaker said, yes, and soon we're going to the dog Sphinx. They went inside of the dog Sphinx, and James met the main four, Woman, Rain, Buck, and Melissa. James asked, who are those mystical monsters? Windmaker said, they are the main four. Woman, the giant cobra who could use his magic to make life. Rain, the black angel. He could use his power of music to make a unique. Buck, the accessible, the strongest bull that he is powerful as everyone that they could have. And Melissa, the elder, she used to be a mermaid, but she controlled the water and swam faster. Woman asked, hey, Windmaker, who the new kid? Windmaker said, everyone, this is James I was talking about. Woman, Ray, Buck, and Melissa realized that he is James. Rain said, I can't believe that James. James said, yep, that's me. I'm James, alright. So you guys work with the ruler, right? Melissa said, yes, and we'll take you to meet Queen Diamond and Pharaoh Elf. Buck said, come with us. Then Woman, Rain, Buck, and Melissa taking James to meet Queen Diamond and Pharaoh Elf. When Queen Diamond and Pharaoh Elf looking at James, Queen Diamond asked, who's the man standing? James said, my ruler, I'm James, and I'm holding the sword key. Queen Diamond and Pharaoh Elf realized that he is James too. Pharaoh Elf said, it's true that you're James. The Windmakers were talking about you. James said, yes, I've been sent by my messages. Queen Diamond said, we've been waiting to meet. James said, thank your majesty, and I've been honored to be worthy as a warrior. Pharaoh Elf said, very well then, let's give you the tour. Queen Diamond, Pharaoh Elf, Woman, Rain, Buck, and Molly, Rainmaker, and David give James a tour in the kingdom, such as a farm, a spa, a library, a village, a cult, a tower, a pyramid, an underground secret bay, a temple, a river, and Dr. Alexander home for the other children. When Queen Diamond, Belle, Elf, Woman, Rain, Buck, Melissa, Windwaker, David, Leo, and Jane went inside the Dr. Alexander home for the other children, Jane could see all of the children training. Jane looking at the painting of Dr. Alexander and asked, "Who is he?" The two men showed up and the other man said, "Why, this is Dr. Alexander. He is the owner of the home for the other children. And by the way, I'm Dr. Caliber, and this is Professor Wilson. And it was an honor to meet you, Jane." Jane asked, "You know my name?" Dr. Caliber said, "Of course, Jane. In fact, I'm taking care of all the children for Dr. Alexander because he's dead." Fellow Elf said, "Dr. Caliber and Professor Wilson, it's good to see you again." Professor Elf said, "It's good to see you again too. And I've been teaching the children about friendship and magic, so we're doing a great job with these kids." Dr. Caliber said, "That's right, and we're happy to be helpful with others." Queen Diamond said, "We're glad that you guys are doing your best, and it's okay that Jane can stay here and the main fort train him tomorrow in the morning." Dr. Caliber said, "Of course he can stay, and he could be ready in the morning." James said, "Thank you, and I can bring Leo to the room." Professor Wilson said, "Sure, why not?" When Dr. Caliber and Professor Wilson taking James and Leo to their room, Dr. Caliber said, "You know that we made the gold in Egypt." Professor Wilson said, "You see, that we do is study for the power." James looked at all of the living statues and said, "Look, all of the statues are alive." Dr. Caliber said, "Yes, and the living statue is ours, so we call them the telephone." James asked, "What do they do? What they can do?" Professor Wilson said, "Why, they teach and help children, of course, but they help everybody in kingdom and do our order." James said, "Wow, I knew they were nice, just like a golem." Dr. Caliber said, "That's right, I said. That's what I said." James and Leo had arrived to their room, and James said, "This is a lovely room." Dr. Caliber said, "Stay long as you like, because me and Professor Wilson gonna help all the children with art." At night, James laying on the bed, and Leo said, I hope that we can have so much fun." James said, "I can't wait to get training tomorrow morning." Leo said, "I'm so happy to fight with you." James said, "I hope so, buddy. I hope so." In the morning, Woman trained James with magic, and Leo watching him. Woman said, "Now, James, I'm going to show you that I'm using my magic." Then Woman used his to disappear himself, shooting fire out of his mouth. It split him half, shooting a lightning out of his eye, transformed to somebody, and freezing by blowing. James said, "That was so cool." Woman said, "Thanks, and used to be a magician in back of my old age as a human." James asked, "Wait, you were a human from last year?" Woman said, "Well, me, Wayne, Buck, and Melissa were human, but now there's a guy named Discord, and he turned us into an Egyptian creatures. James asked, so he turned all you into this? Woman said, yes, but we like it that way. So let's see, you can do magic with your sword key. When James hold his sword key and shout, lightning, the little spark fell off out, and James said, I don't think mine isn't work. Then the big lightning hit right next to the Jane and woman. Woman said, that was an epic move I ever seen. Moving on to Rain, he trained James about interface. Rain said, when you're using your interface, you need to let go your anger and bring the emotion of element. And so James, using his own emotion of element, Rain said, now think about the happy memory in your mind. James thinking about having a good with his parents in his past, and James felt crying. Rain said, I know you're having a hard time, but you'll get better soon. Moving on to Buck. Buck teaching James about breaking hard stuff. Buck said, James, I'm gonna show you how to break a rock. James asked, do you have to break hard object? Buck said, yes, and I'm going to use it with my fist. So watch this. Buck used his fist to break rock into tiny pieces. James said, I didn't know you can do that. Buck said, it takes a lot of time to get myself exercise. James said, I hope my sword key can break rock. Buck said, go ahead, try it. Make this big rock to pieces. When James hit the rock with his sword key, the rock was split in half. Buck said, okay, that was very intelligent way to do it. Moving on to Melissa. She trained James to control the water. Melissa said, I'll try to teach you to control the water. James said, I hope I can do better with water. Melissa said, don't worry. I've been using my emotion of sad to make a rain. James said, I didn't know you making a rain is crying. Melissa said, well, let me show you how it's done. Melissa using it to float it up with water, and James said, that was amazing. Melissa said, now it's your turn, so flow up with water. James used his sword key to flow up with water, but he caused the water. Melissa said, it's okay, James. Everyone had tried our best. James said, thank you for your tip. At a spa, James and Leo having a spa with Woman, Rain, Buck, and Louise. James asked, why didn't I try so hard? Rain said, you see that you doing your best and we tried to help you. James asked, am I doing my best job? Melissa said, yes, but you need to be more patient and get better. James said, I could do better. Woman said, there is. Buck said, yeah, you can do your best to find hope to make new life. Leo said, I know that you can do it, but you can make yourself the new you. James said, okay, I'll do it for you guys. Soon Professor Wilson ran into the spot and yelled, Everybody don't panic! The end has returned from the temple, and now the Evan headed to the pharaoh and queen, but the universe, yes, and the hero that died trying to hold him off, and now we're doomed! Everybody portrayed, and Professor Wilson said, "We're all gonna die." When Professor Wilson fall on the ground, everybody's screaming, "Rain, shout! We have to help Wind Waker and the other." James shout, "Queen Diamond and Elf, and they're in trouble. I have to save them." James leaves to the spa, and woman shout, "Wait, James, where are you going? You hasn't trained yet." When Queen Diamond and Pharaoh Amp woke up to their room, David showed up and asked, "You two having a nightmare again?" Queen Diamond said, "Yes, because we see a dragon called Amp, and they're attacking our kingdom." David said, "I'm sure that this was a dream." Then they heard something coming from the hall. Queen Diamond fell off, and David going to the hall, and the Amp looking for something. Queen Diamond whispered, "It's that Amp after the inside the dragon dream." David whispered, "How did that happen?" Queen Diamond whispered, "Whatever you do, don't make a sound." When Pharaoh Elf stayed back and ran over the pole, and there the Pharaoh Elf and David, Queen heard the noise, and the Elf looking at the Queen Diamond, Pharaoh Elf, and David. Queen Diamond yelled, "One!" Queen Diamond, Pharaoh Elf, and David started to run, and breathed fire at them. Queen Diamond shouted, "Don't worry, we have to find the way to get away from Amp." Soon, James showed up and shouted, "Hey, monster, leave them alone!" Amp hit James with the tail, and Woman, Rain, Buck, Melissa, Universal Guardian, and the hero of the time showed up. Wind Waker shouted, "James, you have to get up and face it!" When James woke up, he could hear the voices from someone. The voice is of James' father said, "James, we're right here, so I want you to get up and don't give up." The voice of James' mother said, "You're not a failure. You're a special one, my son." Voice of Emerald said, "You see that you needed to believe in yourself." Voice of Arthur said, "To prove that you use the power of love." Voice of Clark said, "If everything is wrong, try your best." Voice of Nick said, The world needs you, Jane." Voice of Sob said, "Do it for everybody, for in Egypt." Voice of Dr. Alexander said, "Remember, the only hope we have is make your dream come true." Voice of Jane's father said, "We're all counting on you, and we made our best." Voice of Jane's mother said, "Don't worry about us. We'll see you again." Voice of Emerald, Arthur, Clark, Nick, Sob, and Dr. Alexander all said, "Now, Jane, go and save everybody and stop Ant for good." James snapped up and used the water flow. James slashed him with water, and Buck shouted, "James doing it!" James used lightning flash at James, and then James uses his sword key to hit the pole into big pieces and landed on Amp. Everybody cheering at James, and Rain shouted, "You stopped the Amp!" James said, "It's been doing for you, guy." When Dr. Caliber and Professor Wilson and the Royal Guard showed up, Dr. Caliber said, "Jane, I knew you killed the imp, and someone released the imp that Professor Wilson told to me." Professor said, "If someone responsible for all this, they're going to be a big trouble." Queen Diamond said, "Now Jame has slayed the imp. We'll celebrate James' saved kingdom. Everybody in the kingdom celebrate James stopped imp." At night, James woke up in the room and heard the voice coming. James woke Leo and whispered, "Leo, I hear there's someone calling Father. Help." Leo asked, "Why do you think that someone is calling for help in the middle of the night?" James said, "We need to find someone in trouble." Leo said, "But I didn't hear anything." James said, maybe I'm the only one hear everything." James said, "Leo, come hear someone." Leo confused, and James said, "Come on, let's go find someone." James and Leo followed the voice and coming from the underground secret base. James said, "Someone inside there." "Someone inside the underground secret base." Leo said, "It could be a trap in there." James asked, "But how'd someone got into the underground secret base while the floor door locked?" Leo said, "I don't know, but we had to get back to Dr. Alexander's home for the other children, and not to go there because it's secret." James picked up Leo and said, James said, "No way, we have to get help, somebody." Leo said, "James, we can't." When James used his sword key to unlock the floor door to the underground secret base and lead to downstairs, James said, "We're going downstairs." After James and Leo downstairs, they saw a big wooden coffin. James tried to take it off, and Leo asked, "Now we can go." James said, "No, because I need to figure it out how to open it." James and Leo saw the scrape back under the coffin, and when James pulled up, Leo hung onto the handle. James said, "I think you could push the forward." When Leo pushed forward toward, Leo see the board and he flipped it. Leo pulled backward and James pulled it off. When James and Leo take the lid off, they saw it down below the labyrinth. James and Leo stepped down to the labyrinth, and James said, "Don't worry, Leo. We could do it together." And I watched the movie Labyrinth. Leo asked, "What? Labyrinth?" 25 hours later, James and Leo had made it to the end and met the talking Sphinx. The Sphinx said, "I am the Sphinx, and I'm here for the great riddle for you." James said, "Okay then, but why do we need a riddle for?" Sphinx said, "When you answer one riddle, you enter the secret room of beauty." James said, "Well, it's not too bad, but let's do it." The Sphinx said, "Your riddle is, what 8,125 plus 150 plus what 8,125 plus 150 minus 30 times 2. James and Leo realized this is hard, and James said, "That was a tough choice, so give me a minute." James had to think hard, and Leo said, the answer is 8,220. The Sphinx said, you passed the riddle. Jame asked, how did you know? Leo said, I'm really good at math. Sphinx said, now you may enter the secret room of beauty. When Sphinx opened the staircase, Jame and Leo went up to the stair. Jame and Leo entered the secret room of beauty, and it's got all of the beauty and gold, including the artifact and sarcophagus. I got it. Got it. And so Leo said, there are so many of this. James said, I heard somebody following me. When James and Leo followed the voice of the secret room of beauty, they found Professor Wilson found in the poodle sarcophagus. James asked, Professor Wilson, what are you doing here? Professor Wilson turned around and said, James, you're just in time. James asked, just in time for what exactly? Professor Wilson said, for letting poodle free. Leo asked, so you telling us that we have letting the poodle out of the sarcophagus? Professor Wilson said, she is no ordinary poodle. She is a human girl named Sabrina who turned herself into a poodle. James asked, wait, really? Professor Wilson said, a long time ago, there was a girl named Sabrina, and she was as beautiful than everybody had. So one day, she watched her father use his sword called sword key to create the poodle sarcophagus till the lid was open and the bandages grabbing Sabrina started to mummify alive. So Sabrina was fully mummified alive, and she muffled for help. But when Sabrina went inside the poodle sarcophagus, the magic had spread all around her body and put her to sleep for an eternal. But her father couldn't save her, so hold on. Okay, I fixed it. So he taking her to the Temple of Wa, but in the year 2022, someone and Pat has found the poodle sarcophagus. So they put it in the underground secret base till you showed up with the sword key. James asked, if someone and Pat had found the poodle sarcophagus and put it in the underground secret base, you want me to get her out of here? But why? The voice telling the Professor Wilson and said, let me talk to him and I'll handle this. When Professor Wilson turned around, he unwrapped his head and it had a demon face on back of his head. The demon face said, why, hello, boy. James and Leo realized that Professor Wilson has a demon face on back of his head, and Leo said, the great chaos has come for us. The demon face said, I'm Ursus, the demon of death, and we've been working with the evil wizard Dark War, an evil wizard, dark magic. James asked, but why do you want me to do this to her? Said, you see, we see that we're here for her love, and the evil wizard told us that the ink is on her hand. James said, yes, but I was born with this, and you'll never have her love. Emma said, I'm afraid that we had to take the sword key away from you. When Professor Wilson turned around and used his force to get the sword key away from Jame. Jame realized that he used his ink on his sword to make the sword key back to him. Professor Wilson shouted, "Give it the sword key!" Jame yelled, "Never!" Then the 3 pieces of the sword key broke apart and to make the sonic wave. First of the 3 pieces of the sword key went to somewhere else. Then the Professor Wilson turned into the dust. Alas, Jame had transformed into a dog. Jame couldn't get up, and Leo shouted, "Jame, no! Please wake up! Please, Jame! Please wake up! Don't die for me, please!" In the morning, Jame woke up in a Queen Diamond and Fellow Elf room, and Jame looked at Queen Diamond and Fellow Elf. Jame asked Queen Diamond, Fellow Elf, "Why am I at your room?" Queen Diamond said, "You've been turned into a dog." Jame asked, "I've been what?" Jame looked at himself and started to feel shocking. Jame shouted, "I've turned into a dog! I've turned into a dog! I've been turned into a dog!" Wind Waker shouted, "Calm down! You're going to be fine." When Wind Waker shook Jame so hard, he saw Roman, Rain, Buck, Melissa, Universal Guardian, Hero of the Time, David, Dr. Caliber, and Leo was here. James said, "You guys are here, but how did I turn into a dog?" Leo said, "I saw your sword key break apart in 3 pieces, and you turned yourself into a dog." James said, "That's how I became dog." James asked Wind Waker and said, "The demon told me that I would have ink in my sword on my hand." Wind Waker said, "We forgot to tell you this. That ink on your hand is so powerful," and the prophecy said that when somebody has some ink on their hand, there'll be a new Pharaoh and Queen. Queen Diamond said, "I didn't know that there's going to be a new ruler of Egypt." Dr. Caliber said, "Jane, after you found 3 missing pieces of the sword key, you will unlock the pool sarcophagus and free Sabrina." James said, "I won't let you down." David said, "Come on, I'll take you to meet the guy who can help you." Meanwhile, at New Accessory Capital, Jane had visited the apartment, and David said, "Good luck finding 3 pieces." When David closed the portal, James has entered the apartment. James drew to the dog door, and met the longtime friend, Samuel, Maria, Just, and Diana. Just looked at James, and he realized that someone had met him. And now the next chapter will begin. End of book 1. Okay, that's a good choice. Haha. It is a pretty good choice. Haha. That was pretty. Alright. That's a pretty good choice. We gotta go continue the Egyptian Beauty on next Monday. But hey, at least I can continue playing SpongeBob Miitopia Adventure tomorrow. So, I'm Christopher signing off.